detail in the next two slides. So the first one you can see that, okay, we have a mass extinction here, 1 mass, 2 mass extinction, 3 mass extinction. So you can see that why would they show a mammal here? Why would they show a mammal here? So you can see that after each mass extinction, usually so-called new species occur. For example, after the first mass extinction, originally you have a lot of invertebrate. Invertebrate, they are the one that dominated on the earth, but after the first mass extinction, you start to have vertebrate occur, and they are like fishes, okay, and you have a little bit amphibian. But after the second mass extinction, you have, well, a lot of amphibian, okay, and you have a little bit of the reptile, and you have lots of insects as well. And also later on, right before the third mass extinction, amphibian decline, reptile diversify. Well, you can see why, because they are competing. Amphibian and reptile, they are competing. And then after the third mass extinction, what happened? After the third mass extinction, well, you start to have your mammal occur, and then you have another mass extinction, the fourth mass extinction. Then, okay, dinosaur, the reptile, they appear. Bird also appear. Oh, by the way, bird, nowadays we classify bird as reptile. The reason is that bird, they are actually modern fossil. Bird is the modern fossil for dinosaurs, yes. When you want to see dinosaur, look at birds. They are literally dinosaurs. And then you can see that, yes, more mammal appear, but still the whole earth is occupied by dinosaurs. Then the fifth mass extinction, okay. This is the mass extinction I just mentioned previously. The asteroid hit the earth. Then it kills all the dinosaurs. Then what happened? Then the rise of a mammal. The rise of the mammal until now. So are we gonna have the next extinction? Probably. So this is the Ice Age, significant mammalian extinction. This is the Ice Age. The last one, this is the Ice Age. After the Ice Age, then we kill off a lot of mammals. But so this is the rise of the human being. Are we gonna have a next extinction? Maybe, because of the greenhouse effect. The temperature of the earth there is rising, and if the temperature of the earth keep rising, there will be another extinction. Probably it will kill off all the human beings. Then many scientists predict that after the extinction of human beings, guess which one will be the which type of animal will dominate on the earth? Well, take a guess. I'll tell you the answer in the next slide. So after the extinction of human being, it's not horse, okay? Horse, they are not that strong in terms of survival. Many scientists predict that, well, if we have another mass extinction occur that kills off all the human beings, scientists believe that it will be the insects. Think about the cockroach in your kitchen. They are so annoying. Nothing kills them. It seems that they survive. Even if you step on them, they can still continue to walk. If you don't step on them really hard, they can still run away. So this is how strong the animal can survive. So that's why people believe that, if we have the Third World War, human beings kill off each other instead of the greenhouse effect kill off all the human beings, then insects, they can still survive. Well, maybe I'll ask you this question in exam just to reward whoever faithfully watched my video. Okay, so horse evolution. Horse evolution is an example of lineage. Okay, you can see that horse, they originally they have a very small body size, and then they start growing larger and larger. Not only that, originally they have 3 toes. You can see that 3 toes very clear here, but eventually they become 1 toe. So what's the advantage of having 1 toes instead of 3 toes? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the reason is that having 1 toes will allow the animal to run faster. Having 3 toes will slow down the running of the horse. So how much time does it take to develop? 40 million years ago we have 3 toes, and then 10 million years ago we start to have 1 toe. So it takes like 30 million years to evolve from 3 toes into 1 toes. And then it takes 10 more million years to develop modern horse. Other than the toes, we can see the teeth. If we look carefully to this skull, we can see a lot of teeth in here. The teeth, they become different types of teeth in the modern horse. The teeth nowadays, they are specialized in eating grasses for grinding, for grasses. In the past, the teeth, they are more for different types of food. Yeah. And although we call it lineage, it doesn't mean that it is linear. Okay, the evolution is not linear, but still it is a lineage. So lineage does not equal to linear, meaning that the evolution of horse is not a straight line like this. And it is it go through this yellow tree. What about others? The white part. What is this white part here? What are these white part here? These. What about these horses? What happened to all these horses? The white horses. These horses here. We call it extinction. Basically, those are we call it failure in nature. When they do not survive, they die. We call it extinction. It fits into Darwinian evolution. Do you remember Darwin? Okay, the short neck giraffe, they all die off. So all these horses, they die off. We call it extinction. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, said that evolution of horse takes approximately 50 million years, approximately. Okay. So at first, the dog, they are dog size, really small. They live in forests. Well, in the forest, if you have a small size, it is good because you can hide from a predator easily. But then modern horse, nowadays, they live in a grassland. As you know, that open grassland, they are open area. So when they live in grassland, in open area, it is difficult to hide. So what do? They develop better legs, so they evolve from 3 toes, become 1 toe, so they can run faster. When they run fast, they can evade or avoid the predators in the open grassland. So longer legs, less toes touching the ground, so fast running. Larger and more durable teeth. I told you that the teeth also evolve, so that modern horse, they're specialized in eating grass. is instead of foliage. Foliage is more for the forest, eat the leaves. Okay, adaptation of the teeth. And then larger body. What's the point? When we eat grass, we have more grass, then you have more food available, so that what happens, it takes, when you have larger body, your body can actually store the food for longer digestion time. When your body can store the grass for later digestion, then you don't need to lower your head to eat all the time. So when you don't need to lower the head to eat all the time, then you become more alert to detect the dangers in the surrounding. That's why you can avoid more predators. So like cows or horse, the digestive system, they can store the food because they have large body, so that they don't need to lower their head to eat all the time. And then when they can keep their head high up, then they can detect the predator approaching them, and then it increases the survival. Okay, the transitional species. We give you the transitional fossil. We give you the example Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx, they are evolved from 150 million years ago. Okay, so the horse is actually older than the birds. They are from reptile. Okay, reptile, that means they're a form of dinosaurs. You may call it flying dinosaurs. See, dinosaur, they are the common ancestors of the dinosaurs. The first bird, okay, is a reptile bird mix found in Germany. Basically, it's a reptile that has feather. Reptile that has feather, you can see the fossil here. It's a reptile that has feather. And I like this cartoon here. It tells you what are the trait of the reptile or the trait of the bird. So the beak, they have a tooth, and it is the trait of a reptile. The wing has claw. And this is also a reptilian trait. The tail has many vertebrae, many bones. It is also a reptile character. But the wing has feather. Feather is a trait of a bird. And nowadays we classify bird as reptile because of the DNA. DNA of the bird and DNA of the reptile, they share a lot of common gene. And we can actually see scales from the bird. The scales from the bird is actually you can see it from the leg here. From the leg and claw here, you can see scales. So scientists propose that the feather from the bird, they are actually from the scale. So what I mean is that the feather is evolved from the scale. So feather is evolved from the scale. So I hope you also memorize this. I may ask you this in the exam. Feather is evolved from the scale. So that's why birds, they are evolved from reptile. Comparative anatomy. Let me see. After fossils, what are the second evidence for macroevolution? So fossil is the first evidence for macroevolution. The second evidence is the comparative anatomy. Basically, we look for the structural similarities. Is there any structure that looks similar to other animals? If this animal A and animal B shared a similar structure, we can assume that they have the common ancestor. we'll give you an example to compare the forelimbs of vertebrae. Vertebrate means an animal with a backbone. So all mammals, human, cat, whale, and bat, yes, whale is a mammal, we share the same structure of our forelimb. Our upper arm is made by a bone called humerus, and then our forearm is made by two bones, radius and ulna. Radius is the bone that follow your thumb. Carpal's bone, they are your wrist bone. They are the wrist bone. They are the bones that form your wrist. So radius is the forearm bone that is on the same side as your thumb. Metacarpals, they are the bone that form your palm. Phalanges, they are the bone that form your fingers. And in cat, whale, and bat, as you can see this picture, they are color-coded all these bones. It is the same structure. So we all have the same